Anyways, let's get into it. Just a little bit of fun, but hey, mamas, if you're a stay-at-home mom, drop it down below. Hey, girl, I see you. Let's just get right into these affirmations. You are beautiful. You are loved. You are brave. You are graced for this. You are allowed to be breakable because guess what? There's no such thing as being this unbreakable superhero mom that is just never going to fall apart. It's just not there. You're going to fall apart at sometimes. And guess what? It's okay. Because guess what? Not every day is going to be smooth, but every day you will be graced to start again and to try again. So that is kind of how I'm trying to live my life. There's some days I have two kids. Let me just start off that way. I've got two wonderful, beautiful children. I've got a 7-year-old son and I've got a 1.5-year-old daughter. I love my kids. I love my kids. But there's sometimes it's overwhelming. Okay, so we're gonna just get right into it. I started off with those affirmations, and I mean those from my heart. Because sometimes I feel that we do not get recognized enough in these spaces. At least I'm going to speak for me. Maybe your experience has been different. And if it has been, praise God, hallelujah for you. Girl, you have been shielded from that negativity. If it has not been that pleasant, listen in. Like I said, it is beautiful, but it can be also beautifully chaotic and stressful and emotional. And my favorite line is, I think that people always think, especially in 2025, being a stay-at-home, the math isn't mathing. Don't bring me any of that girl math stuff because it just ain't working for this scenario. Does it make sense? Yes and no, depending on what your family situation and circle is. Um, is it affordable? Yes and no. Maybe depending on what your family circle is. And there's no judgment. Maybe you do not have to worry about anything. Maybe Bay is just like, hey girl, and it's not out of him trying to convert you to being a trad wife, okay? It's just him just being like, hey girl, like you do you in this season. So I'm gonna work, make sure that you guys can be comfortable because does it make sense to pay how much ever money in daycare if you could just be at home with the kids? So I want to make sure that you're comfortable, you're in a good mental space, and that these children can actually learn from mom and not have somebody else come in. Or hey, maybe he's just like, hey, like every once in a while you both have decided, let's pop in a nanny here and there. So yes, you're going to be at home, but maybe you're going to get a little bit of help or a little bit of family supports, whatever that is. Or maybe your situation is just, you are mom. You sometimes feel like that solo parent, even though you might have somebody. Or, yeah, whatever your scenario is, you just don't have any of those supports. There's no nanny, there's no daycare. You is the nanny, you is the daycare worker. Hey. Anyways, I have to add a little humor to this because if not, like it can just get so emotional. So I'm gonna keep this short. Like I said, keep it short, right? Keep it short. Yeah, so it can be, I find, very toxic in a sense, like just being in a space where people do not recognize or see your labor of love and efforts. I'm gonna put this out there for myself, so I'm gonna protect myself. Yeah, I've already put on my little banner of protection. Can you tell I've dealt with trauma? Yes, so automatically sometimes I put my boxing gloves on. Anyways, I'm rattling now. I'm gonna say this though. A lot of the times, I just lost my train of thought. Ariana, let's go. A lot of the times I find that it can be toxic. That's what I was saying. People do not realize the work that goes into being a stay-at-home mom. My favorite line, anytime I find that somebody's going through it, coming at me, I feel with it kind of like negatively, is I'm like, hey, guess what? I'm not sitting at home catching up on all them little Netflix series with my feet cocked up and my little lemonade at the side. That is not me. Now if that's you, God bless you, good for you. I'm not saying like either or is wrong, but that's just not me. I'm one of those moms that I have a very unique dynamic. Maybe one day I'll talk about it a little bit more in depth. I have a very unique family dynamic. So I'm pretty much the primary parent. Um, Dad, my husband usually works out of town. So that can change day by day, week by week. So really and truly what I'm trying to say is that yeah, I cannot be like, oh, guess what? Dad is gonna do this or that, or like my husband's gonna do this or that. Yeah, probably not. If it's given on a good week, if the schedule and if the company goes how it should, maybe he'll be off on a Friday. Or guess what? On a Friday, as last Friday, we were here going through our day, and guess what? He got called into work. So guess what? My little day or my little time was like bye bye. But guess what? We got bills. So deal with it. Anyway, so my situation is very different. So I'm gonna put it out there. I love to work, okay? Um, I love to work. I was working with children and I loved it because there's so much I can learn from them. Um, just so much I can learn from them. I loved it. I love the adrenaline and it keeps me young. At the end of the day though, at the end of that school day though, I have a lot of patience with those kids because they're not mine. So at the end of that school day, it's just like, bye. I don't have to deal with you till the next day or whenever it was that I was working, right? So different scenarios. Easier for me is easier to have patience with other people's kids because I don't have to deal with them for pretty much 24/7. I'm not getting up, like making them lunch, breakfast, dinner, getting them their baths. You can relate to what I'm saying, right? So I'm putting that out there. I love to work, enjoyed working. Um, However, this is my season, and I am actually speaking to myself, trying to encourage myself as I'm trying to encourage you. This is our season. And I'm going to give you a scenario at how real this kind of came to me. So, as I said, I have a 7-year old and a 1.5-year old, and I had applied for this job. My daughter at that time was just a couple months old, really, and so of course this would have been a little bit more recently. And as before I applied to this job, guys, like I knew like what it was entailing for me to do, for the most part. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna just see if I can make it work. This job, I was gonna be on a different time zone. They were gonna be on a different time zone. Again, I was gonna be working with children, what I love to do. Anyways, so I just thought this will be great once my children, like when I'm working, it will be nighttime for me, but because of the time zone in that other place, my children will be sleeping except for baby who is still pretty fresh at the time. She might get up and need something, but I was like, oh, that's okay. Like in my mind, I was like, it's okay. Like it'll just be a quick fix. Like I'll just, be able to get her back to sleep. And so as I got the call and I was going through like the job and we're just cleaning up all like the little pieces, like, hey, like the guy's like, hey, like I love your everything, like, hey, like we want to hire you, blah blah blah. I just like began to like think, and he was willing to be flexible with me and my schedule. I was like, in that moment, I was just like, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work for me right now. I just don't. I was like, I just thought of it, like, and I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna work. For one, what I was gonna be doing, my attention span needs to be there. Like, if I'm up to do something for like 5 minutes, that's 5 minutes of lost time with these children that I'm supposed to be working with. So yes, those children have lost 5 minutes of my time as I'm trying to like pat my baby back to sleep. However, I want to also say for a lot of these people that tell you that, oh, you can just find a job as a telemarketer, or there's so many things that you can do. Hello, number one, we have to have a quiet space. So if that job it requires for you to work 4, 6, 8 hours, you have to have quiet space for 4, 6 or 8 hours, however long that's going to be, so that whoever you're dealing with or whatever the job entails, they ain't getting feedback of a crying baby, siblings that are fighting, none of that. So either you have to have a nanny here that's going to do that, or you guys somehow figure out how you're going to work that out. Okay. So I think for number one, I'm just going to put that out there. When we think about these jobs that we can do from home, let's just make sure that our quiet space actually consists of a quiet space. Where we're not having to like pause and be like, oh my goodness, just give me 1 second, without actually telling the person that you're working with on the phone, oh yeah, by the way, I just had to go and like break up a little fight with my kids, or I just had to go and like give the baby her bottle. They're gonna fire you. Okay, they are gonna fire you. Okay. So I'm just gonna put that out there. So I've gotten so much, especially flack, especially I'm gonna say for people that look like me, that are my lovely color. Yeah, you guys, I'm gonna smile right in this camera at you guys. I've gotten a lot of flack from you guys without saying any names. Would be nice. And I think that's been so hard for me, because I think in my culture, and in specifically in communities that I've been in, it's always looked at, and I can see why it's looked at like this, that especially as a Black woman, um, whether you're married or you have a partner, that you are still supposed to carry on your everyday life, and you're supposed to be superwoman. You are not supposed to bend. You are not supposed to break. You ain't supposed to sit in that couch and catch up on those Netflix series and eat popcorn. That is for other cultures that don't look like us. Now, let me tell you something. I feel that just because, I'm going to say, I don't want to go too much into race on this, but anyways, I just feel that it's just such an unfair perspective, and I'm saying this is from my perspective, guys, so maybe this has not been your story, but I just feel like it's so unfair. And when we see other, I'm gonna just call it out, when we see other Black women and they're in those positions, and we categorize them like, oh my goodness, like I've had people ask me like in a roundabout way, like, oh, so like, do you think like you're gonna like maybe like you could go back to school, or like what are you gonna do, or so you're just gonna like be at home, oh, you could find a babysitting job. Yes, that's great, but let me tell you something. I think for me in this space, that's just not even optional right now. But also for babysitting, you have to be mentally prepared. So if you already have kids, and then you're dealing with other kids that are going to be in your home, in your space, at least for me, I'm like, mentally right now, I don't think I would serve as a good person to do that in that space, unless that child is like older. And I wouldn't want some other child to be traumatized because I'm so emotionally not there. I'm just overwhelmed by my own kids, and then I'm trying to take care of somebody else's just because I'm trying to earn like another $500 a month to contribute towards the bills. Yeah. So I just kind of wanted to throw those things out there, and I also want to tell my community, be kind to each other. See all this melanin? Be kind to each other. If you see another sister, I said I was going to go this way, but I am going to go this way for a bit. Just encourage that person. Just know that it's a season. Just know that that baby is not going to stay a baby for the next 20 years. That child is going to grow up, and pretty soon, before you know it, that child's going to be like, hey mom, I actually need money to go to like Starbucks, or like, hey mom, like we want to go to like a movie. They ain't going to be sitting up under your armpits. And I'm speaking to myself as I'm feeling the pressure of this in this moment. So that's why it's so funny, because I'm trying to encourage you guys, but I'm also here to speak to myself. Yeah, at one point in time, these kids are going to grow up, and you are going to be able to do something Now, may you have to restart and look into getting a different career option? Yeah, maybe so, depending on how long you are going to be a stay at home mom for. But in this season, try not to get so miserable because of what all the other people are saying about you being a stay at home mom that you forget to enjoy the beauty and the little moments of just being like, hey, I was actually able to raise my kids and do the basic things as like teaching them the little ABCs, teaching them to like, maybe write their names. If some of you are really advanced, which you are, teaching them to read before they start school, teaching them math, whatever. Like that is something, sorry guys, that is something that you can be like, that's on my mommy resume. I did that, and not the daycare, or not the preschool. Um, so I think that's something to be proud about. You can also instill your values into your children, without it being values of other people. And that is all with being a stay-at-home mom. So I just want to encourage you, if you are in this space, please, 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 just share how you are maybe either coping, maybe share your positive experiences, or maybe share what you do to just keep sane on days where it feels overwhelming. Um, because it does. I feel like, especially like for myself, I'll be honest, there's been times where I'm like, my other peers, they are so ahead of me in this, that, and that. But then I also look at it and I'm like, oh, but my other peers are actually not even like where I'm at too. So like where I can't even look at my other peers, whether they have kids or not, because guess what? We're all on this journey called life, and we're all in a different season. So guess what? Where I am now, 5, 10 years from now, they might be where I'm at, making these same kind of making the same kind of content or video, trying to be like, oh my goodness, now I'm in this season, and now like I feel like what that person was feeling. Yeah, so I just want to say, encourage each other, love on each other, build each other up. Especially if you are, I said I'm not gonna go there, but I am. Especially if you are of my color. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna say that. Now, this has got mix and all kinds of things in it, but what you see in this camera, you get what I'm saying. Encourage each other. Don't try to make the other person feel that, oh, they're not educated, or they're not contributing, or they're not. Just remember that when they're doing this, they're also making big sacrifices, as women themselves, putting aside some of their dreams and some of their goals to make sure that, hey, this is the season that we're in. I'm gonna step aside and do this, even though it's not easy. And just remember, there's days that it feels like time is just ticking so slowly, and it feels like, is everything gonna make sense for me after these kids are a certain age? Say you guys' goal is you're gonna wait till everybody's able to go to school, so say 5, right? For the next 5 years, am I gonna be able to just enjoy the season, or am I gonna always be grumbling because of everybody else around me? So I want to say, if that's you, maybe you have to remove yourself from those toxic circles, or maybe if that's you and those toxic circles you're not able to remove yourself from, just be confident and confidently just be like, hey, this is my season, and um in this season I'm going to be doing this. And guess what? You may not understand it, but this is what it is for right now. And yeah, just try to embrace it, because there's sometimes where there's things that go by. And even now, I have a lot of mom guilt, and I'm like, I'm at home, but it's almost like I'm at work, because I just don't really sit down. Like, I've got coaches here, and my coaches are starting to look like my kids have taken a good beat to them, because they are in my coaches more than I am. Like the other day, I fell asleep, kind of dozed off in my coach, and I'm like, I know the last time like I've actually really sat in this coach and like dozed off. Mind you, I don't like sleeping in the coach. I was just raised that way. It's like, hey, you got furniture, protect it, make it look new as long as you can. So I'm not really an advocate for sleeping in the coach. However, my kids sit in those couches or play in those couches and enjoy them much more than I do. So if that's you, another thing too, and I'm telling this to myself, is just slow down. Just slow down. Savor the moments, because just like the newborn stage goes by fast, all of the other stages are gonna go by fast too. And you will have regrets. Trust me, you will, if you're just trying to always make sure that you're living up to everybody else's bar and you're not actually living up to your own. And then your kids they'll feel that effect and strain too. So anyways, I'm gonna share one more story and then I'm gonna be off of here because this is like 20 minutes already. So I'm just gonna say this. I have a doctor, and she's known me. I'm gonna just say this. I have a doctor. Let me restart that because, like I said, I want to call it out in case they come across the video. I have a doctor, and they've known me all my life. And this doctor has, I believe, 2 children, and yeah, I believe we are we're close in age. Anyways, so one of her children, I believe it's the youngest, I think she was just really rooting because remember, she's a doctor. They're a doctor, right? So they were probably just rooting that, hey, like, by this time, at this age, my child will be doing this, that, and that, The other adult child is now already doing whatever, and, life has been pretty successful. But the one child just can't seem to find, like, if you want to say, they just can't seem to find their path. So they keep switching back and forth. And that's okay. I feel that's totally okay, especially if you don't got any responsibilities. I mean, do whatever you got to do, because once you have kids, it's just harder. And you can see the disappointment kind of like, oh, but then it's been funny because I got married in 2016. And I remember when I got married, I had my son in 18. This doctor was just pretty much like, oh, so like, you're going to have to be like, working. And I was just like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Eventually, whatever, yeah, like, and the doctor was just really emphasizing that, and I was like, yeah, like, I know, trust me, I know. And a little bit more recently, like, say maybe over like the last 2 or 3 years, like when I've been in to see them, they've just had like such a different perspective, and I think that's just because now that their child hasn't really maybe reached maybe say that level where they thought that they were going to be at this point in time, they're just like, hey, guess what, right now, like, just focus on your kids, just raise your kids, like, just enjoy them, like, this is your season, like, things, money, whatever, like, that'll come after, but just like do this right now, like, pretty much like just be a mom. And I'm like, really now, like, about 10 years ago you were telling me that I I needed to be working after I had my kid. I need to be working. Now you're telling me just be a mom, just enjoy it. Like, just do this for right now. Like, it's okay. Like, why the switch? I think some people are realizing that, hey, you can be that go-getter and you can work those 12-hour shifts and you can come home and, yeah, for an hour or two, you can spend your time with your kids. And that's being a mom. And some women, they have to do that. There's just no option. Like I said, I'm gearing this towards stay-at-home moms. So let's not really talk about what everybody else is doing. But then I think there's some women that just see that, oh my goodness, after a 12-hour shift, I am now ready to come home and take care of kids. So guess what? They go to bed early. There's no bonding. Because guess what? It's true. Like, it's exhausting. I'm right. But their thing is just like, hey, I have to keep going. I have to keep going. I have to. And like I said, again, some people, they do. So there's no judgment for anything on here, okay? This is a judgment-free zone. But just keep in perspective. Do what works for you in this season. And remember, you were graced for this. And even though it doesn't make sense and it's emotional, there's sometimes where it's very lonely. Um, I feel that God knows how to make it up to you. Um, whatever way that is, He knows how to make it up to you. He also knows how to give you strength, and He knows how to put people around you that are genuine, that are genuine, that are genuine, that are genuine, and that aren't just gonna like, try to like sugarcoat things or sweet you up. They're gonna be there for you when you're down. They're gonna be there for you when you're in your happy moments, and they really do want to see you succeed in this journey of being a stay-at-home mom. And they're not gonna judge you. They're just gonna see you and love you for you. So again, I'm gonna end off with this affirmation. You are brave, you are strong, you are so loved, you are so beautiful, you were built for this. You can break, and it's okay to break, because you're not supposed to be a superhero all the time. Take one day, one step at a time. And also know too that each new day is a day to try again. So there's times where I feel like, oh my goodness, like my kids right now, both of them, life is mumming right now, okay? And there's been times where I've just cried because I'm like, I feel like I've missed this mark where I just can't go back and like correct something that I see that they're doing. Like, I feel like I've missed it. And I'm like, wait, they're 7 and 1.5, so there's still time. But sometimes I just feel like, maybe like, did I miss that season where I should have been on top of something? And now like they're this age and they're doing this, and now I'm trying to cut it, and now it's harder, right? So I've had my emotional moments just like recently with that. But what I do want to say though is every day is a day to try again. So what I might not have gotten on Monday, maybe we can get back to it on Tuesday. What I did not get on Tuesday, we can maybe try again Wednesday. And I'm trying not to beat myself up and just be like, at the end of the day, I know I'm trying. Some days I may not be as like, with whatever it is, but I know I'm trying. And also just remember that this one is so hard. But also just remember that in everything with them, like, they need to feel loved. And if they just see you always stressed out and being an explosive mom all the time, they're going to feel the weight of that. And that's going to affect them too. So like I said, just try to make sure that you embrace this journey with so much love every day, even if it's just hugs for them, because they need that too. As much as we do, they need it too. So again, you're beautiful, you're loved, you're built for this, you were graced for this, and take it one day at a time. And I do believe that the good Lord will see you through, and He will bless all your efforts and bless all your losses, and He will give you double for your trouble. He will make the math at the end of the day. He will make it up to you. So hopefully this will encourage you. This is like longer than anything that I've ever done, but obviously it's because I'm so passionate about it, and it's because it's been on my heart, and I feel it's so important. So if this touch you, share it. Share it, share it, share it, share it, share it, share it, share it. Encourage your mom, encourage your mom, encourage your mom. We've got this. So hey girl, signing off. You're just so amazing, and just remember that. Anyways, you're loved, you are beautiful. We could talk on and on, but I'm not gonna keep going back and forth because there's just gonna be no ending. So yeah, you are loved. You're doing an amazing job. Keep up the good work.